Hey, my name is Troy. Welcome to the Fantasy Fanbase if you're new, and welcome back if you are returning. Today, I am bringing you a very special video because this is a massive book haul. I've gotten a total of 20 books over the last few months. If you are excited to see this haul, make sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe down below for more book and fantasy content, and comment down below what is the latest books that you've gotten. Can't spell treason without T. This is my first book that has like blue pages. Isn't that crazy? All Reyna and Cant want is to open a bookshelf that serves tea while firelight drifts between the rafters. But Reyna works as one of the queen's private guards, and Cant is the most powerful mage in existence. Leaving their lives isn't so easy. But after an assassin takes Reyna hostage, she decides she's thoroughly done risking her life for a self-centered queen. Meanwhile, Cant has been waiting for a chance to flee responsibility, all the better that her girlfriend's on board. Together they settle in Tawny, a town nestled in the icy tundra near Dragon Country, and open the shop of their dreams. What follows is a cozy tale of mishaps, mysteries, and a murderous queen throwing the realm's biggest temper tantrum, while these two women discover just what they mean to each other and the world. I'm very interested to read this book. It seems like such a cozy fantasy book, and I am so delighted just by the synopsis alone. Let the Sky Fall by Shannon Messenger. I have never read Let the Sky Fall before, but I know Shannon Messenger is an amazing author, so I'm going to see how Let the Sky Fall series is. Vane Weston should have died in the Category 5 tornado that killed his parents. Instead, he woke up in a pile of rubble with no memories of his past, except one. A beautiful dark-haired girl standing in the winds. She swept through his dreams ever since, and he clings to the hope that she's real. Audra is real, but she isn't human. She's a sylph, an air elemental who can walk on the wind, translate its alluring songs, even twist it into a weapon. She's also a guardian, Vane's guardian, and has sworn an oath to protect him at all costs. When a hasty mistake reveals their location to the enemy who murdered both their families, Audra has just days to help Vane unlock his memories. And as the storm winds gather, Audra and Vane start to realize that the greatest danger might not be the warriors coming to destroy them, but the forbidden romance growing between them. So this is a mix of a fantasy and a romance, which is really interesting, and I can't wait to pick this one up. To Kill a Kingdom. This book is an advanced reader's edition, which was given to me by the author Alexandra Christo. His heart will make a fine trophy. Princess Lyra is Siren royalty and the most lethal of them all. With the hearts of 17 princes in her collection, she is revered across the sea, until a twist of fate forces her to kill one of her own. To punish her daughter, the Sea Queen transforms Lyra into one of the things sirens loathe the most. A human. Robbed of her song, Lyra has until the winter solstice to deliver Prince Elion's heart to the Sea Queen or remain a human forever. This is giving major Little Mermaid vibes, and I'm so excited to read it. Dragonfall. Long ago, humans betrayed dragons, stealing their magic and banishing them to a dying world. Centuries later, their descendants worship dragons as gods, but the gods remember and they do not forgive. This story is basically about a thief and a dragon and how their fates intertwine. I have not read it yet, but I'm so excited to start it. It seems like the perfect cozy fantasy, and I love books about dragons. They always have so much fun and so much adventure, and I'm so excited to read it. When the Moon Hatched. Look how thick this book is. It's got about 700 pages. Let me read you the synopsis. As an assassin for the rebellion group Fior da, Raiv's job is to complete orders and never get caught. When a rival bounty hunter turns her world upside down, blood spills, hearts break, and Raiv finds herself imprisoned by the Guild of Nobles, a group of powerful fae who turn her into a political statement. Crushed by the loss of his great love, Khan Vagor took the head of a king and donned his melted crown. Now on a tireless quest to quell that never-ebbing ache in his chest, a clue lures him into the capital's high-security prison where he stumbles upon the imprisoned Raiv. Echoes of the past race between them. There's more to their story that meets the eye, but some truths are too poisonous to swallow. Okay, we've got prison, we've got potentially a dragon, as I see on the back of the cover. We have got some quest vibes and some assassin vibes, and that makes for a perfect fantasy, so I'm really excited to read this one. Although it's going to literally murder me, look at how many pages there are. The Thing About Jellyfish. And this book is a book that I read in middle school, which I really enjoyed, so I wanted to have a copy of it on my bookshelf. It's basically about this girl named Susie Swanson who is trying to find out the reason why her best friend died in a pool one day, because she's a strong swimmer, so how did she die? The answer lies in The Thing About Jellyfish. This book is about grief, it's about healing, and it's about searching for the truth, which I really love. Go and pick up this book if you haven't already. Where the Crawdads Sing. This is a very critically acclaimed novel novel, and on the back it says that more than 5 million copies have sold of this book, so I'm excited to see what the hype is all about. For years, rumors of the Marsh Girl have haunted Barkley Cove, a quiet town on the North Carolina coast. So in late 1969, when handsome Chase Andrews is found dead, the locals immediately suspect Kaya Clark, the so-called Marsh Girl. But Kaya is not what they say. Sensitive and intelligent, she has survived for years alone in the marsh that she calls home, finding friends in the gulls and lessons in the sands. Then the time comes when she yearns to be touched and loved. When two young men from town become intrigued by her wild beauty, Kai opens herself to a new life until the unthinkable happens. So it looks like we got some romance, a love triangle, and a murder mystery, which sounds so fun. Next up, we have got Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, which is a really popular book, and I got this from sort of a used bookstore. That's why it's kind of in janky condition. I did read this over the summer, and holy cow, this is a fantastic book. It is a murder mystery turned into a psychological thriller, and it is very, very good. It really gets into your brain, and you wonder what are the motivations of these characters, because they are wild. Definitely read this book. This is the Traitor Prince, which is an uncorrected proof that was given to me by the author, and is essentially about a prince who is vying for his own seat in the palace because an imposter comes and tries to steal his identity. And the only way to reveal this imposter or defeat this imposter is to compete in the yearly tournament. So this seems like a really fun book. I love tournaments and games and sort of competition books like this, and I'm excited to see how this plays out. Retro. This book is contemporary fiction, and it follows our main character, Luna Iglesias, and it basically follows her and her friends as they compete in this competition at school where they're basically essentially locking away any technology, all phones, all devices, and they have to go without it for a whole year to get a scholarship to the college of their choice. It is difficult because who can't live without their phone? So this is a really interesting book, and it'll get your mind thinking about how we can limit our own screen time. Get some headspace. This is a mindfulness kind of self-help book, and it's basically how mindfulness can change your life in 10 minutes a day. I think people should read more books like this, or just incorporate mindfulness into their life more, because mental health is so important. We really have to take care of it. Next up, we have got An Ember in the Ashes by Saba Tahir. I have read this book on audiobook, but I want to have this series in physical copies. And this book is about an oppressive empire and two people who are trying to fight against it. We've got Laya and Elias. Elias is a soldier who's supposed to be loyal to the army, and Laya is this person in this underground resistance, and they two meet up. Their fates intertwine, and they go on this wild quest together that spans 4 books. And these two will absolutely change the fate of the empire itself. This is a really stunning, a really descriptive, and a really beautifully written story, and I absolutely recommend it to anyone that's looking for a fantasy novel to pick up. House of Salt and Sorrows. I almost forgot about this book. I actually read this year as well. This book is about a family that keeps having their daughters die every year in unexplained and mysterious ways. There's some force that's driving these murders, but we don't know what it is. So we focus on this one main character, Annalie, who not only is becoming close with this really weird and strange stranger, but is also trying to figure out the mystery to these murders. But will her involvement in trying to find out these murders actually cause her own murder? I don't know. You'll have to read to find out, but this book was very, very stunning. The ending was very deeply like a psychological thriller, and I was confused out of my mind, but it was definitely a fun book, and I definitely recommend it if you're looking for vibes of like a fantasy set on like an island. Wool. Wool by Hugh Howey is such a powerful book. It is a dystopian sci-fi novel that takes place in this huge silo on Earth where everyone, the remainder of humanity, is living in this huge silo underground. This book follows a character who is the only one who's brave enough to venture outside of the silo, and that is all I'll say. This is an amazing, amazing book, and it inspired some of my songwriting, so I definitely recommend it. The City of Brass. This book was recommended to me by my 12th grade English teacher, who is the best. Shoutouts to her. I couldn't even begin to explain this book myself. I haven't read this one yet, but I will read out the synopsis for you. On the streets of 18th century Cairo, Nari is a conwoman of unsurpassed skill. She makes her living swindling Ottoman nobles, hoping to one day earn enough to change her fortunes. But when Nari accidentally summons Dara, an equally sly, darkly mysterious Jinn warrior, during one of her cons, she learns that even the cleverest of schemes can have deadly consequences. Forced to flee Cairo, Dara and Nari journey together across hot, windswept sands teeming with creatures of fire and rivers where the mythical Marids sleep, past ruins of once magnificent human metropolises and mountains where the circling birds of prey are more than what they seem, to Davaband, the legendary city of brass. It's a city steeped in magic and fire, where blood can be as dangerous as any spell. A city where old resentments run deep and the royal court runs with a tenuous grip. A city which Inari is irrevocably bound, and where her very presence threatens to ignite a war that has been simmering for centuries. This one seems like a very descriptive and beautifully written fantasy as well. I'm excited to dive into it at some point. The Fountains of Silence. This is a historical fiction novel set in Spain around the time of the Spanish Civil War. On the back it says that master storyteller Rudis Pettis once again shines light into one of history's darkest corners in this epic, heart-wrenching novel about identity, unforgettable love, repercussions of war, and the hidden violence of silence, inspired by the true post-war struggles of Spain. Super cool, I can't wait to read this one. I've not read a lot of historical fiction, so I'm excited to dive into it. Freefall. This book is pretty fascinating. I read the synopsis. In this book, there is a ranking system of some sorts that ranks everyone's into their percentiles, and the top 1% on Earth are able to actually leave the devastated Earth that is left behind by all of our pollution and colonize a new planet. But we find that that's kind of unfair. We're trying to take down that system that is only letting the top 1% go to this planet. Time travel meets romance in this book, and I'm so excited to step into another sci-fi journey. I love sci-fi books. I Have Some Questions for You by Rebecca Mackay. My mom read this book and she did not enjoy it, so I can't see myself enjoying it either. It is some sort of a mystery where it kind of follows a normal mystery route. Like, there's a suspect that gets arrested, but we kind of don't think that that suspect is the actual person who murdered this girl. So it's time for some questions to be asked and for some questions to be answered in this book. I don't know if I'll read it, but maybe one day I will. Forestborn by Elaine Audrey Becker. Rora is a shifter, as magical as all those born in the wilderness and as feared. She uses her abilities to spy for the king, traveling under different guises and listening for signs of trouble. When a magical illness surfaces across the kingdom, Rora uncovers a devastating truth. Finley, the young prince and her best friend, has caught it too. His only hope is stardust, the rarest of magical elements, found deep in the wilderness where Rora grew up and to which she swore never to return. But for her only friend, Rora will face her past and brave the dark magical wood, journeying with her brother and the obstinate older prince who insists on coming. Together they must survive sentient forests and creatures unknown, battling an ever-changing landscape while escaping human pursuers who want them dead. With illness gripping the kingdom and war on the horizon, Finley's is not the only life that hangs in the balance. This seems like a pretty cool quest to me. I love books that have sort of this illness spreading around. It makes for great stakes. A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Next up we have got A Little Life. This book follows 4 college classmates as they move to New York, and it follows their friendship as well as their relationships. This is a National Book Award finalist. It is very critically acclaimed, and it is known for being a very sad book, so I'm so nervous. The last book is Spin the Dawn. Maya Tamarin dreams of becoming the greatest dressmaker in the land, and when a royal messenger summons her father to court, she sees her opportunity. Once a tailor of great renown, her father is too infirm to travel, so Maya poses as his son and travels to the palace in his place, joining 11 other tailors in a competition to become the imperial tailor. This looks like a super fun young adult fantasy series, and like I said earlier, I love a competition, so I'm really excited to read this one. Thank you so much for watching this video. That is all the books that I have to haul in this video. I'm excited to read all of the ones that I haven't read yet. If you did enjoy this video of me sharing all the books that I've gotten recently, please do be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe down below for more book and fantasy content, and comment down below what are some of the recent books that you have gotten. I'm filming this pre-Unraveled, so I'm really excited to add that to my collection. But that wraps it up, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye!